we need people who have our best interests at heart, and it's not even about politics. It's about protecting our heritage as Bahamians, protecting our heritage for ourselves and for our children and for our grandchildren, because right now we're being ran over by this foreign element that has no care, because they have their spokesman who've already told us that we're dumb and stupid. They have their justice of the peace, Louis Georges, who is celebrating his brother's arrival here. Yeah, their justice of the peace, who could sign off on documents for them now. While Bahamians can tell you to be frustrated by our government systems. We're in a crisis. We're in a serious crisis. Our country's in trouble. And then add to this the fact that we have the failures of our law enforcement system. So recently, we just had a situation where a defense force officer was charged before the courts for the situation in Eleuthera with the children. What has happened since then? What has happened since then is the defense force has made some strategic decisions in regard to how they deal with their Rangers program. So Yashua Cox was charged about 3 weeks ago for physically abusing young men, teenage boys, at the Rangers camp. They said he was rubbing himself on them, had them masturbating, had them drinking out the toilet, all kind of things. So he's been charged, and the victims of what he was doing were range from ages 11 to 19. And so Yashua Cox was granted $15,000 bail. His brother Jedediah Cox otherwise, and the police force thinks otherwise. And as a result, Yashua Cox is now being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Also, Yashua Cox is being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Also, the new Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has moved to have the Defense Force Rangers program managed by the Bahamas Military and Maritime Academy after Yashua was charged with molesting these young men in Eleuthera. This took place in Eleuthera. So he's moved that program from the Defense Force range, so the Defense Force will still have the Ranger program going forward. The Defense Force will still have the Ranger program going forward. They will still have the swimming program going forward, but it will just be managed by the Bahamas Military and Maritime Academy. All right? And then we have another Defense Force Marine in problems, in trouble with law enforcement. And this time, this one is in problems for human smuggling. The U.S. government has been conducting a massive human smuggling operation. U.S. law enforcement agencies have been conducting a massive human smuggling operation and surveillance program, an initiative designed to catch these crooks and criminals who are doing these things. And so they're in the process of them doing these investigations and doing this work. They ended up arresting Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Kareem Maynard. They ended up arresting Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Kareem Maynard. So Kareem is now in U.S. law enforcement custody after he was caught in what is suspected to be a human smuggling operation. And he was caught with 2 Jamaicans. And so all of them are in custody. Kareem are under arrest. They are in... Kareem and the 2 Jamaicans are under arrest. That's his name's Kareem Maynard. And this arrest, an incident occurred sometime around August 30th.